Hello there, this is Patricia from Pinky's World, and this week I'm starting my wee Easter treats for the grandson. So this is the first one I've come up with. Really plain, simple, quick and easy to make. I have 4 of these to make each time, so I always go for an easy project. Inside I'm putting 4 of these wee eggs. You can get, I got these in Lidl, so I'm sure you can get them in Asda and Tesco's and Aldi. I'm sure over there you would get them. So it's really simple. It's just an inch square right the way around. I'm using the Pick a Punch lovely label punch here to add the top part, so it's a wee pick me up thing. I'm also using the punch, the double oval punch, this one here, to do this, and the stamp and papers. The papers I've used are actually Seaside Spray, and they're from last year, so you can still get them. It's a different pattern. You're getting spots and wood grain. I have none of this colour left, so I'm using up last year's paper. Exact same paper, only just a different pattern. So if you have it, go ahead with it. And I'm using the matching ink. I'm also using the matching wee pearls. These are called pastel pearls. They're still available too. I'm using this sort of sparkly baker's twine. I'm not sure, it was in the Flowers for Every Season. It may not be available, but I'm sure if you have white or blue or whatever colour you're using, I'm sure you can match it, or just put a nice wee ribbon in it. This is the stamp set. It's still available. It's the one that was released to raise money for mental health, and it is a lovely stamp set. And I was panicking a bit because I had forgot to buy an Easter stamp, and lucky enough there's a gorgeous wee bunny rabbit in this, which I think looks perfect. He's just all covered, stamped in the Seaside Spray and coloured with Wink of Stella and a wee bit of what did I use in the blends? Mint macaron. Yeah, mint macaron markers. So very easy, and I say substitute if you haven't got what I've used. What odds, it'll just look just as lovely. So start with some things out of the way here. Start with your piece of paper, your double-sided paper, and it should measure 6 inches wide by 4.5. So great for your 6-inch packs of paper. And we're just going to go into the long side, and we're going to score at 1 inch, and then 4 inches, and then just turn it round and go in at your 1/2 inch, and then 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5. Just keep it really simple. No taxing of the brain needed. So do your wee scores. The wood grain, obviously, of this year's paper would, I think it would be lovely to say. I've used all my blue up, my Seaside Spray. So we're just going to cut away some of these. I'm going to mark them with a pencil so that you know what to do. We're cutting away this 1/2 inch section here. Not sure if you can see it. Oh, it's so hard to show the sizes, but that narrow one there, cut it away, and this wee small one here, cut it away. You're cutting up each of those, and you're cutting up each of these, right up to that mark. And this is the top of your box here. It is 2 inches deep here, and it's 1 inch deep here. So just cut up to those lines, cut these 2 away, and you can slot that one in slightly. Have I done that right? No, I haven't. I'm looking at it upside down. I'll show you when I've cut. So go and cut your pieces. So that's what you should be left with now. The 4 flaps here, 4 flaps at the bottom, and your wee side piece that's going to join them all together. But first you want to do your punching, and we're going to punch the first one that's beside your wee lap, your wee flap, I mean, and the second one, skip one, and then go to this one. So in order to get these out of a road, we're going to stick them down. You could just cut them across here, but I think it gives the box a sturdier wee feel if you just stick those down. Just make sure they're not interfering. If they need trimmed off a wee bit, do that now, but hopefully they won't annoy you, and we'll just put on a wee bit of glue and stick those down out of the way, and it'll help, as I say, make the box nice and sturdy. Rather than wasting your paper, you may as well. It's wee bits that you're not going to use if you cut them off, so you may as well put them to use. So just press them down. Make sure they're going in nice and straight. They're not interfering with either side of your fold. And the same with this one. Just make sure that it's sitting nice and straight. And then you'll be able to feed these ones in much easier. So I'm going the one with the wee lip at the top so that I can punch a hole for putting the ribbon through. So if you fold these in, fold these out of your way and just slide that in. And then flip it over. Don't try and do it just by sliding. This is a wee bit tricky, this punch. It needs you to be perfectly straight. So go in and take a minute and check and do it that way rather than making a mistake and the whole project's ruined. So same with this one. Fold everything down, over. Whoops! Slide it into the same hole. Make sure you go into the same one. Flip it over. As you can see, it can take on a life of its own if you don't keep an eye on it. And that's those. So we can make up our box, or you can, make your box up. I think that's the best way to go. I'm going to put more secure glue using the Tomboy just to make sure that it holds good and firm. So you should be able to fold that over. And that should take just giving it a good score on all sides to make sure it's nice and even. Because sometimes it can move about. Well, it looks like it's a wee bit wide to me, whatever way I have gone with it. I'm just going to give it a wee quick trim so there's no edges hanging off, or else I need my eyes tested, one or the other. Right, so now we want to be able to punch a wee hole equally at both sides of this. So make sure they're lined up. Use your pencil to mark where you'd like it. Say about there, and then just go in with your puncher while you're holding them both securely, and that keeps you even. So we can now close the bottom, and whereas this is the back, so it'll be last down, but I'm going to add a wee bit of glue to each of them just to make sure they hold as you're folding them down. And then a wee bit on the last. And I should have said check that nothing is overhanging, so hopefully it won't be. Seems okay. So this is your front. At this stage you want to pop in your sweets. Oops. Keep your matching colour if you have one for the top. And then we're just going to tie up with the give yourself about, what measurement is that? About 10 inches, say 10-ish inches. Whoops, because you want to thread this through. Make sure you're at your front. Fold it in half, thread it through both holes like you're just making a tag topper. Oh my goodness, go through. My hole is so small in this particular punch, but it works like. So thread that through, loop it, pull that loop down towards the front as you're tightening it so that it's sitting there at the front, and that allows you to tie a wee bow out of your leftover thread. It's a bit big, so we could trim it off, or just leave it hanging, whichever way you like it. So now we need to go in and do this part. So if you get your punch and a piece of card, punch out that biggest one, and then we're going to stamp our wee rabbit. Scrap. So just ink that up in the Seaside spray and position his tail so he's coming sort of just close to the edge but not right at the bottom to allow you to add a wee bit of colour. Just making sure you get them all in. And go in right away with your, I don't know which one's my full one now, I've mixed these up. I think it's this one. Go in now when your ink's still a bit wet and put some wink of Stella on the parts that have the blue lines. You'll see when you stamp it. And that just gives them a wee bit of depth without going mad, because you want to keep them nice and pale and nicely coloured for Easter time. Well, Easter time sort of reminds me of like baby things, pale blues and pastel colours, you know. So that's what I'm going for. Go in now with your dark mint macaron. Can't remember the name of it there. Just go in where the shades would be of the darker grass with his shadow. And then go in with your light one. Just pull it out. Just go right off the edge. And that's him settled at home. You can go in and give him a wee pink nose if you're up for just a very pale pink. Whatever you have, just a wee dot. You could give him rosy cheeks too if you really wanted, but I'm not going to bother. This is going to boys. So if you add a few, I'm going with these. These are only 1 millimeter thick. I don't want them sitting out too wide from the front of the box, otherwise he's going to get caught, and these are just the perfect size for me. You choose whatever suits you best. They're just a pain in the butt to get the covers off because they're not Stampin' Up. So go to the front, set it down and just park him in the middle. No sentiment needed at all. I'm going to go in with these wee pearls, and I want to use the Seaside spray colour in it if I can find my pokey too. Just pop that up at the top. And it just finishes them off perfectly. And let's say you're only putting 4 sweets in. I like to give the kids 4 or 5 wee treats at Easter rather than 1 big egg or whatever. So you don't like to give them too much chocolate. The parents go mad. So keep it nice and just give them the bare necessities, but it makes it look that wee bit better because it's all wrapped up nicely for them. Makes it a wee bit more exciting, I suppose. They are only young, and the bigger ones can have, I suppose, a lock of pound. So that's it. Both finished up. This is I think from last year too. Some of you might have them. In fact, I'm sure some of you have them. Oh, I can't even find them. Disappeared, but they're the same idea. They were brought out. There they are. And they were brought out to match the original papers. What do you call them? Faceted dots, and they come in all those colours as well. So I think these are the in colours that will be disappearing this year. So if you like those colours, now's the time to stock up on anything you need out of them. But perfect for Easter. I love that wee Seaside spray colour. It just works beautifully. And if you're going for the girls, then go with the nice wee pinky colour. But either way, have fun. Hope you make a few. And out of a bag of sweets, you're going to fill a whole load of those wee boxes. So great for wee gifts to the neighbours and whatever. So I'll catch us all again next week. And I'll have all the measurements on the blog below. Be sure and subscribe and hit the button below so that you'll see I do post once a week. So hopefully you won't miss any. Catch us all later. Bye.